Hello, everyone. My name is Alicia Mathlin, and these are the Deeper Wellness Talks. Every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern, I jump online here to have a quick chat with you about all things holistic wellness. So I am a meditation instructor, a yoga teacher, a conscious living guide, an essential oils educator, oh my goodness, I'm just a lover of all things health, I guess. I use all of those things to develop ideas and unique approaches to your everyday wellness. Simple tips to help you be the best you ever, okay? Another thing I wanted to note is that at the end of October, we'll be taking a break on these talks. So you'll have a chance to get caught up on all the old episodes at the Deeper Wellness Talks on YouTube. So let's jump in today. We are talking about goals. And I'm really excited about this subject because we've just crossed into fall, and it's the beginning of October, which I don't know if you look at the year this way, but it is the final quarter of 2018. And what that really means is there's a block of 90 days left for you to accomplish anything that you set out on. We have a visitor here. For anything that you set out on for the year. Back on track. Anyway, so what I want you to know is, first and foremost, that you can achieve anything you set your mind to. I think it's really, really, really important for you to take in that information and really believe in that. It is possible for you to achieve everything you want. And I think knowing that and believing that with every fiber of your being is the very first step to not only setting your goals, but achieving your goals. Because if you don't believe that you can do it, then you're sort of shooting yourself in the foot before you start to walk. So what's really important for me to convey to you is, please believe in yourself. I think I say this at some point in every talk, but it's especially important, when we're talking about achieving goals. So number one, please believe in your ability and capacity to achieve what you want, okay? Number two, I didn't mean to start off with numbers, but let's do it this way. Number two, make sure that your goal is realistic. And I'm not saying that you can't do whatever you want. I'm just saying, take into consideration all aspects of your life right now. Your responsibilities, your professional life, your health level, your time, all of those things. Because sometimes we say, I want to achieve a certain goal within the next week, but it's not really realistic, and it's almost a way of setting ourselves up for failure, because we don't necessarily expect or believe that we can actually do it. So we set up this like wild goal that isn't realistic, right? And it further serves an internal dialogue that says you can't achieve what you want. And so I want you to move away from that. Let's start small and let's start realistic. Because once you get good at handling the smaller goals and the smaller ideas and cultivating the discipline to achieve them, it makes the bigger goals and the bigger plans a lot easier. Okay? So number one, believe in yourself. Number two, set realistic goals. Okay? So it's not, something outlandish, like I want to be the president of my company in the next 2 weeks. I'm sure there's more of a path, and there's a couple steps in between that you actually have to get through before that can happen. I'm not saying it can happen, because I believe in you and I believe you should believe in yourself. However, a ceiling is a ceiling before it becomes the floor. You know what I mean by that? The ceiling is the limits that we're trying to reach. Once we reach them or we break through them, then that ceiling becomes your new floor, and then you set another ceiling. Okay? So, number one, we're believing in ourselves. Number two, we're setting realistic goals. Number three, we're taking the time to discover what we're really passionate about. Because it's one thing to have a goal that we think we should have or that someone else has imposed upon us. But if it's not something that really matters to you and that resonates in your heart and that once achieving will empower you to strive for more, then that's not a good place to start. You've got to start somewhere that just warms your heart, that feels magical, that feels exciting. And it could still be a small goal, but you know, if your heart's not in it, if your emotional well-being isn't part of it, then the likelihood of you following through is very slim. And even if you do follow through, will it have the same impact on your confidence going forward? I don't know. I don't know. So your passion and your presence and your heart is really important to goal setting. You know, I often hear people set goals that they have no real interest in, but it's something that they think they should do or they think society wants them to do. And I feel like we are setting ourselves up for a terrible relationship with goal setting and goal achievement, right? We have to connect to what we really, really want. Which brings me to my next thing. What number are we on? 4. We have to be able to adapt our goals, right? Our goals can't be this like rigid, solid thing that has no flexibility. The reason is because things change, our desires change, the context of our lives change. And if we have this fixed goal that feels limiting or that actually feels like a constraint to achieve, then that's not good. Make sure your goals are organic and they have some flow to them. Okay? It's really, 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 really important. So number 1, believe in yourself. Number 2, set realistic goals. Start small, that's okay. And number 3 is, oh, this memory. Number 3 is be passionate with your goals. Be present for your goals. Have an emotional attachment to your goals. And number 4, allow your goals to be flexible. Not so flexible that you can't achieve them, but if they need to adapt, if they need to budge a little bit, have this self-compassion and the ease with yourself to move in the direction that you're being taken in. This is so important. If we're too rigid, we take the life and the enjoyment out of achieving things. And then that robs us of the confidence and the empowerment that we can feel once we not only set goals, but take the steps to achieve them and then actually achieve them. Those things are so important. Another thing I want you to do is, and this would be number 5, is let go of the past. And when I say let go of the past, I'm really talking about all those times where you feel like you set goals and you did not achieve them or something got in the way of them, and you're allowing that to color your opinion on your ability to achieve your goals. This is really important. Just because when you were a teenager and you didn't have a certain set of skills or resources available to you, you didn't achieve something, it doesn't mean that right now, at this time in your life, it is impossible. The past has information for us, but it cannot be what defines our present moment when it comes to goals. It just can't. You are capable of achieving your goals. You have the capacity to achieve your goals. You have the skills, you have the energy, and you definitely have the time. But you have to decide all those things are true first, before you even begin. Our mindset around what we're trying to achieve ultimately informs whether or not we can achieve it. This is important to know and understand. So number one, believe in yourself. Number two, set realistic goals. Number three, make sure your heart is in it. Make sure you really feel this goal. Number four, be adaptable, be flexible. Allow yourself to flow around the goal. Don't make it too rigid or like punishment. Give it some ease. And number five, let go of all the old information that you're carrying around with you about your ability to achieve what you want. I've said this before and I will say it again. I believe in you, and I'm inviting you to believe in yourself. If you need to rename goals because you have some baggage around that word, then please do it. Sometimes I call it my abundance plan or my prosperity plan or my, all magic. Make it seasonal. Whatever feels right for you. But make it personal, make it yours. There are so many tools out there, technological tools, paper tools that are designed to help you achieve goals. And those things are good and they're helpful and sometimes they're necessary. But I am saying to you today, get your heart in it. Really get your heart in it. Make sure your mindset is in the right place. Work on those two things before you set your goals, before you make plans. Everything we talk about on these talks is a foundation, right? It's a foundation from which you can build or rebuild your life. So today we're talking about goals. And we know theoretically what goals are. We know what to do to achieve them. But the sticky bits happen between them rising in our mind and actually making them happen. So once you have an idea of something you want to achieve, before you start working on the details and plans and timelines and stuff like that, do you actually believe in yourself? Do you actually believe that you can achieve this goal? Because that's the most powerful thing. You're the most powerful part of this equation. Your belief, your self-belief, your confidence, your idea of worthiness around the things that you want. That's what's important. That energy in between, that space that you're creating for the thing that you want. It doesn't matter what your goal is, big, small, medium size. What matters is how you feel about your ability to achieve it. So when we talk about the deeper wellness relative to goals, we're talking about connecting to that place in your heart that knows you can do anything. Because believe me, the idea wouldn't have come to you if it wasn't possible. Please know that. The possibility exists, but the rest is up to you. And I think that that is the hardest thing for people, is really taking ownership of what it takes to have and achieve what you want. Every day you have to renew your commitment to your goal. Every day you have to work at it just a little, or maybe even a lot if you have the time. But there's got to be a little bit of effort every day. You can't just put it on a piece of paper, add a date to it, and then never look at it again. This is an everyday thing. This is a practice. A little bit of effort every day. And then some smaller goals within the goal. So if part of achieving your goal means you have to call someone, set up that call. If it means that you have to organize your finances, do that. If it means that you have to create space in your home, do that. But whatever you do, make sure you do something. Because every one of those small actions not only brings you closer to achieving your goal, but is a reminder to yourself that you're serious about this. It's not just an idea, but it's something that you're interested in making happen. Your momentum shows that. Your commitment shows that. Your daily effort shows that. The small choices that you make that serve the goal show that too. Each one of these things has an energy around it. It builds momentum, builds an idea of speed. You know, so often we think this isn't happening fast enough. I always ask people, well, what are you doing? How much are you doing? How often are you doing something? Energy flows where energy goes. So if you're not directing energy to your goal, how's it supposed to happen? It's not enough to write it down and say, I want this, or I want to achieve this. You have to connect to the place inside of you that says, no matter what, I'm doing this. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make the time. I'm going to connect with who I need to connect to. I'm going to do all the things. That's the energy you need around this. And don't forget joy. The minute it starts to feel like a chore or a hard task and you've lost your joy around it, the likelihood of you following through starts to decrease dramatically. So can you keep the joy around it? Can you keep that sense of ease and fun? And this can be for health goals, professional goals, personal goals, whatever they are. If you don't have a sense of ease and joy and passion around it, how are you going to stick to it? Your emotions and your energy and your sense of purpose matter here. If those things aren't aligned with what you're trying to achieve, then it's so hard. It's so hard. Believe in yourself. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a few really deep breaths like the ones I've taught you in other talks. And find that place in your heart and say, what do I really, really, really want? And what can I do? What can I do to make it happen? Have that internal dialogue first. Connect to yourself internally first. There are 1,000,001 things that you can do out here for your goals. In fact, I would argue that those are the easier things. The hardest part is bringing your mind, your body, your heart into alignment, which shows up as belief and confidence and worthiness around achieving your goals. So pick something. We're in the final 90 days of 2018. Pick something. It doesn't have to be a big thing, and it doesn't have to be something you tell other people. But I encourage you to pick something. I encourage you to, once you've selected that thing, really ask yourself how you feel about it. And then see if it needs to be tweaked or changed or anything like that. And then go for it. I say go for it. Even if it's been a really long time since you have set and achieved a goal, now's the time. There is no better time than right now. Nobody needs you more than you right now. Whatever your goal is, big or small, I believe in you. I want you to believe in yourself. You can do this. You really, really can. Don't ever think you can't. In fact, get that dialogue out of your head this minute. You can. You can set a goal and you can achieve it. You have everything you need, and you are everything you need. Please don't forget that. And please don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You are the most powerful person in your life. I'll say it again. You are the most powerful person in your life. And whatever size your goal You can make it happen. You can make it happen. Okay? So I invite you, as always, to consider everything I've said here today, to explore the places inside of you that may be holding you back or may be causing doubt. And take that information and bring it into the present moment and ask yourself if it's all still true. And ask yourself if it deserves the very powerful position of getting in your way. If you have to reclaim that you are the most powerful person in your life to achieve your goal, then honey, you got to do it. I mean it. It's time. Practice with a small goal. Get that one done. Set a slightly larger one. Get that one done. And work your way towards the big goal that you have in mind. Practice achieving. Practice believing in yourself. Practice knowing that you are the most powerful person in your life. Today's The Deeper Wellness Talk was on goals. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time right here. I'm going to stay on the call and do some unrecorded question and answering. I don't think those are words, but anyway. I will see you soon. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Alicia Mathlin, and these are the Deeper Wellness Talks. Thank you.